Hey everybody, it's Simply D, and I want to welcome you back to another episode of In the Blind, or as I like to call it, My Life in the Blind, because as we know, everybody's experience is just a little bit different, and so let's jump into today's vlog. Now, normally I try to get these vlogs out a little earlier in the week, so it gives it a week to get some good traction and things like that, but this week has been a very busy week, and that's busy in a good way. See, I know a lot of people talk about how busy their week is and how they dread the workload and all that kind of stuff. Now, the only thing that I have not necessarily enjoyed this week is the frequent habitual asthma attacks. Like, it is definitely spring, and my asthma has been wrecking my experience. Okay, that is the only thing I can say has not been, where I want it to be. But there are so many exciting things happening, so many incredibly good things that are happening, that it kind of outweighs the things that I have been experiencing in terms of my asthma. Okay, now, one other little side note about the fact that spring is in the air. It also means that all that pollen is in my eyes. For some reason, especially this year, even with taking allergy meds and all that kind of stuff, my eyes are burning all the time. Thank God, I already know how to be blind, so I can close my eyes and enjoy my day, okay? Anyway, so what's been going on? Okay, well, first and foremost, there is a lot of music stuff happening in the background. There's a lot of things that we've been working on, and I'm super excited to bring all that to you guys. But more than that, okay, I have to say that because of how busy things have been, Gypsy and I have been out and about in the community, and, we're starting to see that these vlogs are having an effect on people's understanding of our experience. Case in point. So we were at the store a couple days ago, and it was just after church, so I guess it would be Sunday. But it was just after church, and we go into Costco. We're having a good time with the family. Costco is the fun place to shop because there is food already prepared for you when you get in. So sometimes we take the kids because they like to do the samples while we're doing actual shopping. We're not there just for the samples. I know some of you are. I used to be some of you. but we were just trying to stop through, grab some things, and be out, right? Well, while we were there and, just hanging out for a minute while my wife was checking some things out when it came down to, glasses, that kind of stuff. Well, this woman walks by with her husband, and they're talking and they're having a good time. Then they see Gypsy, myself, and my daughter just standing off to the side, just enjoying having conversations, stuff like that. And they stop, and I realize, I thought they were stopping because everybody loves the shoes. Everybody loves to see Gypsy in her shoes. So they think it's a unique thing and all that good stuff. So thanks GDA for the shoes, because living out here in the desert, they super useful. Okay. So anyway, we're hanging out there, and the husband's about to try to pet Gypsy. And the wife says, "No, honey, wait a minute. Don't you recognize the hat? That's that guy that we saw on the vlog on YouTube, on the YouTubes." I was cracking up. So shout out to you guys. Thanks for taking the time to, not only watch the vlog, but at the same time, remember the things that, are discussed here on the vlog. So anyway, we had an incredible viewership last week, and I want to thank you guys for that. Those of you who took the time to comment and share and all that good stuff, it's really starting to gain traction. But what stood out to me in that encounter that I had with this wonderful couple is the fact that they started asking me questions about the things that I talk about in this vlog. And one of the things that they had never really considered was, if you don't carry yourself with a certain body language, like blind people tend to have a very particular body language, and it's because of how we have to connect with the world around us. And what tends to happen is people are looking for that body language. For example, if I'm walking and I am, if I'm confident in where I'm going and I have my head up and not down, if I'm walking and look like someone who doesn't have an eye issue, then people don't feel the need to respect the relationship I have with my guide dog, because in their mind, I don't need her, right? And I thought that was a very interesting thing. So I asked them, so if I walked around and I dropped my head a little bit and I walked with a different kind of body language, would that make you feel more comfortable with me being a blind person? Now, this wasn't a hostile conversation. It was just, one of those things where people are actually trying to learn from each other. And they said, well, we would then think that you were waiting for someone who takes care of you to come and help you, and the dog is here to help you because you are obviously in need of its services. But if it doesn't appear that you obviously need the dog services, then it is not necessarily assumed that the dog is actually serving any particular purpose for you, whether it has a harness or not. And I thought that was very insightful in the idea of, they actually took time to think about it after the vlog last week. They took time to think about why they do the things they do. So, and that's what this whole experience is about. It's about taking the time to figure out why you do the things you do, how you cope with the world around you. Now, me being a partially sighted person, it means that I'm going to run into this situation a lot, not because of any other reason than because my body language does not necessarily suit the public opinion of what it should be because of the issues I have. So a lot of people, which I forget. Now, I do forget this, so I'm guilty of this as well, but I forget how big a role sight plays on someone's understanding of the next person. So if you look a certain way, according to people who have a certain level of sight, if you look a certain way, you must be that way. Blind people spend a lot more time talking to each other to get to know each other, because we can't just make, snap judgments based on how we see each other. So when we don't even notice our body language and how it sets us apart. We don't necessarily notice how, people with sight carry themselves and people without sight carry themselves. We listen more for the tone of your voice, and we look for the content of your character, because those are our telltale signs of who you are. We may not like the way you sound, but like the way you make us laugh. There are other judgments. There are judgments in the blind community too. Oh, they don't sound like they make any sense. They don't seem like they have an education. They don't read Braille. Oh my God. There's a lot of things, in each demographic that happen. But the one thing that I'm always telling people is, if you take time to get to know the person that you are making assumptions about, then you can confirm whether or not your assumptions are correct. Okay? Don't be so quick to judge. I guess that's the main thing in this particular vlog is, don't be so quick to judge. And just because someone has a particular behavior that you are not a fan of, you don't understand necessarily why they have that behavior. If you take the time out to explain where you are coming from and you get an understanding of where the other person is at, more often than not, they are going to come to a level of understanding that you can both deal with. I'm not saying it's going to work for everybody. I'm not saying that everybody that's messing with your seeing eye dog in the street is going to be the most calm and understanding person. One of the, I'm going to say this and then I'm going to let you guys go. But I remember when I first got Gypsy, I went to my wife's job. And when I went to her job, I was, everybody was super excited about the dog and, and everything. Because, Gypsy is a looker. She knows she's a looker, and she likes to hypnotize people into breaking the rules. She loves it. She knows what she's doing. And we tell people all the time, she knows exactly what she's doing. Don't pay her any attention, right? Don't look her in the eyes. Don't treat her like she's a pet. Don't do that kind of stuff, because she thrives on that. She's a dog, and it's a girl dog. She loves the attention. So anyway, so everybody was really cool. Everybody was excited. They had never been that close to a service animal before, all that kind of stuff. So, it was great. But one woman came up and said, oh, she's looking at me. She needs my attention. She wants my love. No, you're not special. She wants everybody's love. You are not special. But anyway, so then we explained to her, no, don't do that. It'll distract her and it may cause her to lose focus on me. And I'm the priority when it comes down to her, to the job, especially because she's in the harness and everything. This dog is, still learning to build this bond with me. This is shortly after I left school. So, she's good, but she is not totally 100% loyal yet. You know what I mean? Like, she's like, you're good. I like working with you, but if you just let me get pet up real quick, it'll be all right. Trust me, I'm a great driver. This is how Gypsy thought she could do. She thought she could hang out with other people and still be a good driver. For her, getting pet up is like drinking. Okay? And it is not good to drink and drive. She gets so high on the love and the attention that she at times swerves. At times forgets to check both sides, okay? She at times will cause me to walk into a wall, a pole, a door frame. This happens, okay? So no drinking and driving. That's my thing. When I'm out with her in harness and stuff, I don't let people really pet her up and stuff like that. As a matter of fact, I think the only people that I even let do something similar to that, because I even have to stop my wife from doing that in public because she at times gets really comfortable with the dog. But anyway, is maybe the little kids, maybe the little babies who, because it doesn't cause Gypsy to lose focus because she's probably standing as tall as the kid, if not taller. So, okay, fine. I don't want the kids to be afraid of my seeing eye dog. But anyway, while at the job, my wife's coworker, I don't remember the woman's name, and I wouldn't put it in here if I did, but she said, oh my goodness, we're walking out. She says, I just can't help myself. And she comes over and she starts petting up my dog like crazy. Like she just gets all behind her ears, this, that, and the other. And I didn't know what to do, to be quite honest, because A, I told you not to touch my dog. B, this is my wife's place of business, which means that any reaction I have will directly reflect or affect how she is treated at work. Man. So anyway, this happens. Gypsy is super excited, and exactly what I told them would happen if she lost focus happened. I walked smack into a door frame. She was so busy just trying to get to the next person or trying to follow somebody or whatever that she forgot all about me, and I ended up with a big old knot on my head because my dog got distracted. And the woman said, I'm sorry, I just can't help myself. Now, I told you guys this story to help people who don't know understand that there are dangers to doing the things you want to do when somebody tells you that it's probably not a good idea or not to do it. Okay, because you don't know how your interaction with the blind in public can affect their public experience, can affect what's going on, especially if they're walking with a seeing eye dog. You have no idea that dog's strengths and weaknesses, and at times that weakness can come out, and we discover the strength of a door frame or a pole. Okay, now, outside of that, my brother had a solution, and I just like to say this because it cracks me up, and I think that many of you, even if you don't have a seeing eye dog, even if you're not blind, but you have experiences where you tell people, please don't do that, and they do it anyway. They say they can't help themselves or whatever the excuse may be. Here is the solution that my brother came up with. He said the next time someone comes up to you and you told them not to do it, and they say, I can't help myself, and they do it, you just smack them. He said, and then when they ask you why you did that, you just tell them, oh, I'm sorry, I just couldn't help myself. So anyway, you guys, you have an incredible day. I don't suggest you follow my brother's advice because it could lead to a lawsuit, but it was funny. And all those who understand the experience that I'm talking about or have these kind of situations, this is not just a blind thing. This is something that happens just in general. Whether I'm doing with things with the sighted part of my experience or the blind part of my experience, I often run into people who think that they don't have to follow the rules, and that is not the case. Okay, so anyway, you guys have a fantastic day. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video, and I'll talk to you guys next week. Until then, Be good to yourself. Bye for now.